Last month, this exact LinkedIn outbound playbook booked 1 to 2 qualified sales calls every day with 7 and 8-figure agency clients. And I did it all without ad spend, just one human-led go-to-market system. Now I'm going to give you the exact entire playbook in this video so you can drive predictable demand from LinkedIn. Now before we get into it, if you're getting value out of this, hit subscribe, drop a like on the video. I post weekly videos on building go-to-market systems to scale your technology business. So let's crack on into it. Here's step 1, the buyer trigger list. The whole playbook starts with a list. If you get this wrong, nothing downstream matters. Most agencies build their outbound list from Sales Navigator alone. They filter by industry, company size, job title, and then they end up with the same 5,000 prospects that every other agency in the world is also messaging. And then they wonder why their reply rates are below 2% on LinkedIn, which sucks. So here's what we do instead. We build a lead list in Clay. We pull in from multiple sources: SalesNav, Apollo, built with news APIs, Zoom info, LinkedIn engagement signals, and that is where the layer triggers on top. These triggers we use most often are job changes in the last 90 days, new funding rounds, recent hires for specific roles like head of demand gen or CRO, new tooling implementations, new office openings, posts where they publicly complained about a problem that we solved. Each trigger gives a context for the opener. For example, a new VP of marketing has a very specific set of problems in their first 90 days. A founder who just raised a seed round has a different set, and a CMO complaining about their content engine is the easiest sell on the earth because they've literally written the problem on a billboard. We aim for a list of these types of prospects from 2 to 300 high trigger prospects per month. That's plenty. You don't need 10,000. You just need the right 300 of the right ones. Step 2, the warming layer. Before you message anyone, you need to warm the relationship. This is a bit cold outbound agencies always skip, and it's the reason why their reply rates fucking suck in 26. For each prospect on your list, you need to do 3 things over a 1 to 2 week window before the first message goes out. Plain connect. No note. Or for prospects who get pitched a lot, our data shows that connections with a note actually perform better. Test both for your ICP. 2, engage on 3 of their posts. Real comments, drive something meaningful conversation so you're actually top of mind by the time that they reach out. Not like, oh great, interesting take. Actual 3-line comments that add value or push back thoughtfully. You've got to think that every comment is a touch point and every comment puts your face in front of them. You might repost a quote or share something they published one time. This is a massive accelerator and nobody is doing it. The notification that they get when you share their content is one of the highest credibility signals on the platform. They will remember your name by the end of the week because you've appeared in their feed 3 to 5 times. You supported their content, so now you're connected. They're warm right now. And when you do message them, the message hits in an entirely different way. Reply rates from cold to warm sequence in our data go from roughly 4% all the way up to 30 to 40%. That's the difference between a dead fucking pipeline and a full one. Step 3, the first message. By the time that you have done the warming layer, it's time for the first message. Forget about a cold DM template that you've never read. They all do the same thing. Compliment, transition, pitch, ask for a call. Now, the problem is your buyer's seen that exact structure 400 times this year. The pattern recognition kills your message before they even finish reading it. And the prospect thinks, oh, fuck off, it's another sales message. And you've blasted your rep before you've even got in the room. Here's the one structure that works. 1, specific reference to a trigger in their content, not generic specific. Saw you join as ex-VP of marketing 2 months ago, congrats. Or, you're posting attribution this morning, did XYZ, I imagine that X, Y, and Z might be top of mind for you right now. 2, problem-proving question anchor to your offer. Out of curiosity, how are you thinking about, pipeline contribution from content? Most VPs I'm speaking with inherit a content engine that produces impressions but no source revenue. 3, stop. Don't pitch. Don't drop a calendar link. Don't mention what you do. Just stop. 3 lines. The job of this message is to start a convo, but not to close anything. And the reply rates on this structure for warm prospects sit between, as I've said, 15 and 30% in our data. Top performers hit 40%. Step number 4, once they reply, the next 3 to 5 messages are purely diagnostic. You're not pitching, just finding out, being curious. The frame is this: you're not selling. You're trying to understand if their problem is real, urgent, and worth solving with help, and if they're open to that help in the first place. So here's how I run mine. First message, I dig into it. Got it. When you say, you got a content engine that doesn't provide pipeline, do you mean the team is producing volume, but the metrics aren't tracked? Or, metrics are tracked and the volume is the issue? I'm probing. I'm letting them tell me where it actually hurts. Most B2B buyers, especially senior ones, will not give you the truth if you try to sell with them in the first 3 messages. And once they've named the real problem they've solved and you've expanded the gap, for example, that's the trap. Volume metrics make it feel like work's happening, but it doesn't actually mean that, you've got pipeline tracked to your ICP and you're flying blind. Now, the mistake that most teams make in this position is doubling their content, when they should be tightening up attribution. Notice what I'm doing with this example. I'm naming a future cost. I'm validating their fear. I'm demonstrating that I, as an expert, have seen this before, and I'm not pitching. Because after 2 to 3 diagnostic messages, I make the offer of a conversation. I say, look, I'm happy to keep this in the DMs, but if you want me to map this out in 20 minutes, what it would look like, for us to help you to solve that, is that something you'd be open to getting some time with or open to getting help with? It is soft. It is specific. I'm not demanding anything from them. It is helping. And that is exactly how we keep prospects engaged through diagnosis, and how we actually generate 1 sales qualified lead per 10 conversations with C-suite every single 10 conversations. Next step, booked calls don't matter. Confirmed calls do. The single biggest leak in most outbound systems is the gap between booked and held. Show rates in the wild are routinely below 50%. We run our clients between 75 and 92% show rate, and here's how. 24 hours before the call, you send a voice note. Hey, looking forward to chatting and got a couple of ideas to help you with X problem you said you had, and confirm that you're all good by shoot me a thumbs up. That's it. The voice note is the biggest unlock because it's pattern breaking and personal. Most Calendly bookings get a calendar invite and a generic email reminder. Your prospect brain treats that as ignorable, but a voice note gets treated as unignorable. It gets opened and played and remembered. Show rate goes up and you make more from the calls that you've already got. Next, step 6, track these 4 numbers weekly. Don't run this playbook without measuring it. Most agencies don't measure outbound properly, and that's why they can't get it to work. 1, connections accepted versus those sent. If it drops below 60%, you've got a problem. 2, reply rate to message number 1. If it drops below 12% on warm sequences, or it suggests that your opener is potentially wrong. Booking rate from positive responses. If this drops below 40%, your diagnostic sequence isn't expanding the gap enough. Number 4, your show rate. If this drops below 70%, your confirmation process is broken. Each number tells you exactly which lever to pull. Founders and revenue leaders who track these 4 numbers weekly fix problems in days instead of months. Okay, so that's the playbook. 6 steps, and every script and structure I use with clients that they're paying is anywhere from between 5 to 10K a month to run the go-to-market for. So if you want to see how you can add an additional $500 to $1 million in pipeline a month to your agency in the next 90 days with a custom plan, then head to the description and click the link. And if this video helped, hit subscribe, and don't forget to like this video and drop a comment. Do the usual. I'll see you on the next one.